There are 1,000 different ways and reasons to interpret the archetype of Jesus' death on the cross. And my soul, my psyche is just bringing awareness to another angle as I am feeling into a shadow. Another reason of why the Divine One, archetyped by the character of Jesus, had to die on the cross is to kill the idea that in order to be divine, you have to transcend death, which happens anyways. When a person dies, you have immediately transcended death. What remains and what we are struggling with is the illusion that our mind creates through beliefs. That, for example, the belief that a divine one can never die or should never die. A divine one should never exhibit weakness or sickness. You see, we have this notion that God is all powerful and God cannot be afflicted with the conditions of humanity, with the conditions of being human. That is the belief that our mind has created, the distance, the dichotomy, that it cannot marry the two, that God can be divine and human at the same time. This is the other aspect of the archetype of Jesus as the Christ man dying on the cross. And as I'm looking at my shadow and the expectations of my egoic mind and the beliefs that my egoic mind has formed, there is this compulsion, this expectation that my human body has to exhibit certain divine conditions to prove my immortal soul, to prove my divinity. For instance, one of the beliefs and thoughts that many of us hold is that we should never be sick, that we should never have an affliction, because somehow that separates us from our divinity. But it's only in your own mind where you become separated, because your mind has this belief that you cannot ever suffer and maintain your immortal soul status. You are always an immortal soul, regardless of what you suffer in your flesh, in your body. So there's still remnants of beliefs, remnants of expectation that surround divinity that I am deconstructing. A remnant of beliefs that I have to show up a certain way to prove my divinity, to prove my immortal soul. No, I don't have to show up in no way. I don't have to show up in a certain way. How I want to show up in my immortal soul is a soul that is at perfect rest. And this perfect rest is achieved by dissolving these mental expectations, dissolving these mental beliefs that my mind has formed around what it means to be divine, what it means to be God, what it means to be an immortal soul. You see, These expectations, these mental expectations, is what produces the stress in our life. The truth is, you don't have to do anything to prove your worth or value. You don't have to do anything. Jesus is recorded as giving us all kinds of proofs of his divinity. He performed miracles. He had a magnificent transfiguration on the mount where he turned into his light body, which, by the way, all of us have, but not all of us get to see. But we still are that, even if we can't see it. And then it culminated in nailing that divine one to a cross from which he could not come down from. You see, there is no one way of expressing your divinity. Everything is divinity. Whether you are walking about in a shining aura, or whether you are dying from sickness in a deathbed, you are an immortal soul. You are an immortal soul. Your body may not be immortal yet, but that is something where we are evolving towards. But you don't have to strive to become that. It will become that by default as your body takes in more and more light. And we're all on this journey, on this evolutionary journey together, as we are moving through the cosmic clock and the cosmic constellations, the wheels within wheels. And I called it the cosmic roller coaster ride. And all you have to do is sit back, hold on, and just go for the loops and enjoy the ride as much as you can. And not worry about it too much. Don't worry when the ride will end, because it's not going to end for a long time. This is God's cosmic roller coaster ride through the zodiac, through the ages. And we're all going to get there together.